Well, awesome. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody's pumped up, motivated. I am your host for Empowerment Moment. I am Miguel Ramos. I am your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach. I am your transformational trainer, developer, whatever you want to call me, amen. But I'm here to motivate you and pump you up. So, today we want to talk about, amen, we want to continue to talk about leadership. Leadership is such an effective and such I want to say, a quality that is on demand in this day and age. Everybody's becoming a leader. Everybody is growing. Everybody is, transforming their life. We have passed the era where everybody is being told what to do. And we're living now in an era where people are taking more initiative. They're taking really life by the horns and they're making things happen. So I want to speak to you a little bit more about leadership today, but I want to share with you 9 secrets of effective leadership. 9 secrets that you probably heard before, but believe it or not, a lot of people do not exercise and practice these secrets. So I want to share with you that before you become a leader, there's something you must do, something that, believe it or not, especially in a society living that, everybody's so young and everything is so fast and so fast-paced technology. It's something that a lot of people do not like to do, but you must do this thing in order to become an effective leader. And I want to share with you, some of my testimonies that have really helped me to become who I am and where I'm at today. So one of the things that I love to do is, I love to listen. I listen to the heartbeat of people. I listen to their desires. I listen to, their agonies, what they're going through. Sometimes I just have conversation and my ears just stand sour. So, what areas are they struggling in? What is it that they want to do? What is it that they're trying to do? And I get motivated by those things because I really genuinely want to help people. So I talk to people. When I talk to people, I listen. If they're struggling with a certain situation, whether it's with their faith, whether it's with their desires, whether it's with being who they are, and I love to give them advice. And if I don't know something right then and there, then I know what's my focal point to study or to try to bring about or to extract or to read a book on that, whatever it is that I can give myself that knowledge to help that person. Then I come back and I say, you know what? I found some interesting fact about X, Y, and Z. And I help that person out. So again, I was talking to a dear friend of mine, and they were talking about transitioning. I don't believe that I'm a leader. I don't believe that I have what it takes. I don't believe that that I can actually make the next move. And sometimes we all stay stuck in transition. And I want to encourage you, my friends, that everything takes time. Trust me, everything takes time. I am now, believe it or not, I am now coping with the ability to know and understand that it's okay to take time, or that it will take time for things to mature. And I asked myself this simple question, right? I said, in my endeavors, in the business that I'm doing, whatever, I said, one of my desires is to travel the world. I want to see the world. So I said to myself, if I were to travel, and I had to choose between 2 pilots to fly my plane, right? Would it be the pilot? Let's say they're both knowledgeable, they're both skilled, but would I choose the pilot that has 40-year experience, or would I choose the pilot that has just been brand new out of the academy? Listen, we're not trying to be biased here, but chances are your mind is going to go toward where the experience is at. 40-year pilot has gone up and down. This new kid is probably telling you, well, you know what? I've done the simulator once. Not, not judging, not disregarding, but again, experience says volume. So guess what? Once you learn the skill, once you learn the know-how, once you know how to master whatever it is, then you have to build integrity. Then you have to put time in. You have to let people know who you are. People will now talk to other people and other people and other people, and they'll let that your character and your integrity precede you, because it's going to take time. The difference between a seed and the tree is the time in between. Between the sowing and the harvest is the time in between. Between the student and the master is the time in between. So you have to understand that time is of the essence, and you have to be patient with it, and you have to be motivated with it, and you have to encourage yourself, and you have to be hopeful that you will succeed no matter what. There's so many I want to say categories, theories out there that will let you know, listen, that if you stick to something long enough, you will succeed. It's inevitable. So nevertheless, I want to share with you that, before you become the most effective leader you could ever become, there's a secret that you must know. You ready for the secret? The secret is you must learn how to follow. Yes. There it is. That is the secret to every effective leader, is you have to learn to be a follower. You have to learn to follow first. And I want to give you 9 secrets of an effective leader, how you can become, how you are, when you are, a follower, how to become the most effective follower you can be, and that'll help you transition to become a leader. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, when I first started this thing, I did not know that there was a leader trapped inside of me. And all I really wanted to do was just follow. I met, awesome preacher, awesome pastor, and I said, you know what? I want to follow this man of God. I want to, help them. I want to, increase their profitability. I want to help them grow the church. I want to, whatever do. And I just started following. And before I knew it, I stumbled into leadership, a leadership in me extracted. When I started doing construction work and I started working up there, all I wanted to do was just help the foreman, help the supervisor, help the, the man in charge, the architect. And before I knew it, I stumbled into leadership because all I wanted to do was just be the most effective follower. Why? Because as a follower, you don't have to bring home work home. As a follower, you don't have to worry about the great things. But I started changing my mindset, and I said, you know what? I saw how my leader at that point in time, my trainer, how they were acting. And I said, you know what? I want to take some of the burden away from them. I want to take some of the worry away from them, some of the anxiety away from them. So, I started to be the most effective follower by taking initiative, by doing things before I was told, before I knew it. Listen, if it was a pencil, a pen, the plans, whatever, I had it on hand. I always had a tape measure on me. I always had, a Bible on me. I always had something, a phone, whatever, something that they needed, boom, boom, that before they asked, I already anticipated what was going to happen. And that helped me become a very effective leader. So let's get to it. I want to show you 9 secrets. This is 9 secrets. So, share it with everybody. 9 secrets to become an effective leader. And number one is you have to follow. You have to follow. That's embedded in there. You have to learn to follow. Listen, your time will come. Be patient. I know you want to start your own business. You want to venture out. You want to, just kick off. Listen, we're living in an era now where everybody's becoming their own boss, and that's okay. But don't do it prematurely. Don't do stuff, out of haste. Don't do stuff out of desperation. But use wisdom. The Bible tells us everything is lawful. Nobody's telling you not to do it, my friend. Everything is lawful for you to do. But what is wise? Use what is wise, right? Do what is wise. So take time. Even if you are involved in a situation, or you're part of a job, or you're part of a team, or part of a group, and you want to venture out and start your own thing, listen, be the best you can be in that group. Let them miss you when you leave. Let them realize that when you leave, they're gonna be like, man, that kid, man, that gal, man, they were the best. The team is not anything without them. So you understand, be the best that you can be while you're there right now. Don't let anybody badmouth you before you leave, right? Or when you leave, whatever it is. Let them talk positive about you. And the best way to do that is to be the most effective leader you can be, a follower in that team. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take initiative. You want to take initiative. That is one of the best kept secret, believe it or not. When we tend to transition, you start to get disgruntled from where you're at, because you're passionate about and you're excited about where you're going. So you start to get disgruntled where you're at. Listen, still take initiative. I used to belong to a youth team group when I was younger. Called Fresh Youth Initiative. And I never really understood what initiative meant. I didn't know what initiative meant. And until I asked one of my coaches, and one of my coaches said to me, Miguel, I'm going to tell you what initiative means. And it just sums up in one sentence. It says, we make things happen. That's what initiative is. We make things happen. We don't wait for things to happen. We make it happen. If we wanted, to have a tournament in the city where I grew up, then we did it. We put it together. We didn't have enough money. We did community service. We did programs. We sold, popcorn, pens, whatever it was to raise funds. We did whatever. We made it happen. We wanted a block party. We made it happen. We wanted, movie night. We made it happen. We wanted to go on a trip. We made it happen. We made things happen. And that's what initiative is. You make things happen. Whatever it is that you are venturing off. If you listen, and I'm really good with this again, but you have to also develop the skill. If you're at work and you're faced with a tough situation or an obstacle, whatever, listen, make things happen, make solutions. Tell your boss, tell your team leader at that point in time, listen, give me 5 minutes, give me 10 minutes, give me till lunchtime, give me till tomorrow morning, give me over the weekend, give me the problem, and I'll bring the solution. Trust me, for every problem there is a solution. As a matter of fact, I was just preaching about this, saints, friends, ladies and gentlemen, that on Sunday, I was saying that God will not give us a problem without giving us a solution. So there's a solution out there. You just got to find it, right? And that's where you got to take initiative. So make things happen, right? That is one of the key things of being a great follower to become an effective leader. Make things happen. Don't wait for your boss or your team leader or your leader at that point in time to tell you to do something, or don't just bring it to them and say, well, you know what? That's your problem. That's not my problem. I'm just here, sign my check, and I go home. No, listen, take initiative. Say, let me look at that, or make suggestions. If you're the one, in the back of the meeting, listen, I have a suggestion. What about X, Y, and Z? Believe it or not, chances are that every time when you make a suggestion, people consider it, even though they may steal your idea. But guess what? You're the one who came up with that solution, right? So make initiative. The second thing is be coachable. Be coachable. Listen, I work with a lot of people, and believe it or not, this is not clashing my cymbals. This is not trying to sound arrogant or tooting my own horn. But, sometimes you work with people that you may know more than the people you're working with. And that's okay. But still be humble. Still be coachable. When they tell you certain things, just be like, oh, that's a great idea. That's awesome. Oh, that's good. Why? Because you're becoming approachable. You're becoming coachable. I remember when I first started, being coached when I was younger. Again, all these things go back to my youth. When I was younger, and I remember one of my coaches used to always carry a notepad. He would fold it and he would keep it in his pocket or in his back pocket. And for some reason, I wanted to show my coach that I was coachable, that I can be molded, that I can be transformed. So I got a notepad and I got a pen, and I always carried it with me. And I started noticing that every time he heard something, he would write it down, a famous quote, or we would be in the subway and there would be different sayings or whatever, or he would hear something, he would write it down. And I started doing the same thing. And he asked me, why do you carry a notepad? And I simply said, because you carried a notepad, and I want to show you that I'm coachable. And that was just awesome. After that, everything that's something that needed, whatever needed to be done, he would ask for me. He would depend for me, and that was a great thing. That was just a great honor. So you want to show that you're coachable. Try to mimic. I'm not trying to say be somebody else, but try to mimic the person who you're following. Try to let them know, listen, that you're coachable. When I was in the construction field, listen, I put a tape measure with me, got a calculator with me, want to make sure every time you need something, boom, boom, boom. I always make it my aim when we're doing these great designs, in homes and stuff like that. I have pictures in my phone. And sometimes, when the head designer is saying, oh, we're trying to create, this ambiance or this great, I pull it up on my phone and I say, like this, like that, like this. I have pictures, I have visuals. Why? Because I want people to know that I'm coachable and I am on the winning team. I am a team player, right? So be coachable. To be a great follower, you want to be coachable, and it's going to lead you to become an effective leader. Number 3, oh man, there's so many great ones. I hope I have enough time, right? So I'm trying to get these out here for you. Number 3, you have to anticipate. Oh, I can teach about anticipation the whole day. You have to anticipate. In other words, you have to predict what's going to happen before it happens. And listen, after you have worked with somebody for a deal of time, you can almost kind of get to know the routine, right? You get to know the routine. I remember when I was working, this one guy used to pick me up every morning. And, the first couple of weeks, I was late getting up, and the person was waiting for me outside my door, to the point where I started anticipating. Listen, even though this person was going to come pick me up at 7 o'clock, they were in my front door at 6:30. So I started anticipating where they came, and what I did was I started getting up earlier, that by the time they pulled up, I was already ready. You understand? Why? Because I know that people's time is valuable. Think about it. Listen, you trade your time for money. That's what a job is, right? Work, whatever it is. You trade your time for money. If you lose money, somebody can give you that money back. But nobody can ever give you that hour, that minute, that half an hour, whatever it is back. So value people's time. Cherish people's time, right? Anticipate what's going to happen. Anticipate what they're going to do. Anticipate how the work is going to go. If you know it's going to rain that day, listen, I always say it does not cost you to throw an umbrella and and get a pocket umbrella, put it in your bag, ladies. Or man, listen, take an umbrella, put it in back of your car. You never know. You may say, well, I'm not an umbrella type of guy. Listen, an umbrella can be a great deal breaker or a great deal maker. You know, you can see your boss, the CEO, going from his car from the parking lot to, hey, get an umbrella. Hey, how you doing, sir? Listen, get the umbrella, pull it out. Boom. It could be a great way to to have a good impression on somebody, right? So carry an umbrella. Anticipate. Number 4, great communicators. You have to be great communicators. I'm going to let you know, one of the great things that, believe it or not, people call me for is to be a great communicator. I'm talking about all across the board, from church to business. People call me all the time to be great communicator. You know, not only do I speak other languages, but I'm a great communicator when it comes to being compassionate, being emotional, being understanding. Whether it's spiritual or whether it's business, like I'm a great communicator. I have people that would literally bypass supervisors and managers and then tell me, listen, can you speak to the customer? Can you speak to the client? Can you speak to the person personally? Just the other day, believe it or not, I was home for a couple minutes. I had to stop what I was doing. I was getting ready to prepare myself because I was going to speak in an engagement. I had to literally stop all what I was doing, go back and speak to a client that was a little disgruntled about what was happening just because of my communication skills. Now, I got a little frustrated. I was like, oh, come on, man, I'm on my way to do something. But then I valued, wow, this person really values my communication skills. So bada bing, bada boom, I called the person, explained to them what was going on, and everything was fine and dandy. The job was still progressing, right? So listen, embrace your communication skill. Communication is not just verbally, just not just saying what you're saying, but making somebody feel comfortable, making somebody feel trustworthy that what you're delivering will in fact reach the goal, right? So that's what communication is about. Don't just say it. Don't just spray it like they say. Don't just say, oh, this is what we do. No, make the person feel comfortable. Listen, you can trust me. Listen, I have years of experience. I have trained with CEOs. I have trained with Fortune 500, CEOs, companies, people that are making it. I've trained with these people. So when I tell you that this is going to work, it's going to work. Trust my expertise, trust my character, trust my integrity. It is going to come through. So be an expert communicator. An expert communicator also takes worry away from the person, that the person can now be in a state, I want to say, in a state of ease. So, as an expert communicator, it's almost like the same thing. Parents, it's like the same thing when you tell your children it will be okay. Notice how you speak to them. When you tell them it's going to be okay, you're consoling them, you're consulting, right? You're advising them, and therefore you take the anxiety away from them. That's what an expert communicator does. It takes the anxiety away from that situation. Ooh, man, communication is the key. I think I did a teaching on all just about communication. Look for it right there on my YouTube page, right? So awesome. Number 5, and I don't know if we're gonna get through these 9s, but listen, you know how to get in touch with you, right? Number 5 is be goal driven. You have to have a goal. As a follower, you have the main goal, which is the goal that your leader wants to achieve. But as a follower, you also can have a main goal for you to try to advance that goal in other words, it's almost kind of like, we always say that the leader has the vision, but the subordinate, the followers, have the missions, right? So as a follower, you want to have little missions to help that vision come to fruition. So you always want to have little goals. What is it that you're trying to achieve? If you hear your leader at that point in time saying, you know what, I desire to do this. I desire to work with the children's ministry, or your leader say, you know what, I want to start a training program for our business because I want to talk about health and I want people to be healthy, So you know what? Develop something. Come back and say, hey boss, I heard you say, X, Y, and Z that you wanted to do this. Here's some ideas. Here's some, missions that I want to do. Here's some things that I think, you should implement, or you may take a look at, and take that initiative and create those missions. Have those goals. What is it that you want to do? If you want to follow, you want to be the best follower, right? You want to be that employee of the month. You want to be that manager of the month. Whatever it is, you want to make a difference. So have some goals, right? So, number 6. I love this. You remember when you were younger, show and tell. You would bring a situation, a thing, and you'll be like, oh, this is show and tell, whatever. Listen, If you want to be an effective leader, you have to be a great follower. Don't tell, show. You got to show it. You know, like I said, I always have pictures on my phone. People are trying to explain an ambiance, a different decoration. I like to show them. I show them what it is. I have pictures. I have drawings. I have plans with me. I have all kinds of things, right? I have PDFs. I have plans. I have, whatever it is. I like to show them what it is that we're speaking about. So don't just tell, show a person. Show them that you're prompt. Show them that you are an effective worker. Show them that you are an effective listener, a great communicator. Show the person, right? You can spend as much, you can show them faster than you can spend time telling them. That's just the bottom line, right? So don't tell, show, right? Don't show, tell. No, don't show, don't tell, show. There you go. Woo! I had to show you, not tell you, right? So that's good. Number 7, earn trust. You have to earn trust with the person. And the way that you earn trust, listen, I cannot stress this enough. The way to earn trust is through consistency. You just have to be consistent. You know, you want people to say, well, I want him to trust me. I want her to trust me. I want them to trust me. I want them to know that I can do it. You know, the number one problem that I come across when I mentor and I, develop a lot of young leaders in this day and age is that they want trust right away. You know, they want to make the big bucks. They want to, drive the big vehicles and get the big projects. And I said, listen, you will get that, but you have to earn that trust, because when you come to a company, first of all, the boss hires you or the leader hires you, they have to go to the anxiety of hiring a new person, and then once they hire you, they have to go through the anxiety. Did I hire the right person? So you have to show them, right? You have to earn that trust, and the way that you earn that trust is through consistency. And you can advance consistency. Oh, yes, I didn't tell you about that? Oh, yeah, you can advance consistency. The way that you advance consistency is just a simple method that Jesus taught me. Yeah, Jesus taught me that. That's my boy. Jesus taught me that. He says, whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with them 2. In other words, don't just meet the quota, go above and beyond it. If you know you had to be at work at 7, be at work at 6:45. If you know you got to leave at 4, listen, leave at 4:15. Just that little bit. And you want to make sure the boss sees you. You want to make sure the leader sees you. It's 4 o'clock. You're supposed to be punch out, and it's still 4:10, 10 minutes extra, Fill the copy machine, fill the toner, whatever. Get your things in ready for the next day. And before you leave, just let it pass about 5-10 minutes past the hour, and just go to your boss and say, hey, are we good for the day? Is there anything else that you need? Can I do anything before I leave real quick? They're going to be like, you still here? Yeah. And then you do that for a couple of days. You're going to advance your consistency. Man, Ramos, man, he's always here. He's here before. He's here after. Who do you want to consider? I nominate Ramos. I nominate Miguel. He's right, because so you can advance consistency. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do a teaching about advancing consistency. Y'all going to like that. Comment on that, right? So you can advance your consistency, right? So that's number 7, earn trust. Number 8, real quickly. Number 8, offer solution. Offer solution. When situation comes, when a problem comes, listen, and I want to say that's the difference between a leader and a follower. A leader has to take the problems home. A leader has to take work home. They do homework. They bring it home. They got the paperwork. They got the plans. They got the strategies. They got the stuff. And they got to come up with a situation. But if you can minimize that anxiety from your leader, you being a great follower, you're going to become an effective leader. If you can minimize that by offering solution, you can say, listen, give me half the work, or give me some of the work, and I can help you solve those problems, and I can bring it back to you and bring it back to your leader, where the leader now can have a solution. I'm telling you, you're going to be an effective leader after becoming an awesome follower. So offer solution. Don't just give. Anybody can give problem. Anybody can add to the problem, but offer a solution. Hey, boss, I'll tackle this. You tackle that. We're going to get this done, right? And then last but not least, number 9, be compassionate. Listen, if you're a compassionate follower, you're bound to be an effective leader. And I'm going to let you know why. A compassionate follower, believe it or not, manages a great leader. Yeah, it sounds almost like backwards, right? Oxymoronic, but it's good. If you are a compassionate follower, then you're actually managing your leader. Yeah, you're managing your leader. Why? Because believe it or not, a leader, sometimes they're burdened with the cares of the company, they're burdened with the cares of the organizations, and sometimes they have said, you know what, I gotta take this, I gotta do that, and you know, the anxiety builds up, you know, and yes, you know, that's what their leader, they're designed to take it. But as a great follower, you can be compassionate, you know, you can console, you can say, you know what, let me talk to you, you know, I know that we're working, you know, this is job related, but let's take aside, you know, let me just console you, you know, let me encourage you, you know, take that initiative to go above and beyond. You are a follower, you are a leader trapped inside a follower, but you're being a great follower because you're being a great subordinate. And then what you do is you become compassionate, and before you do it, you start managing your own leader. You know how many people that I have worked with and they're the leader? Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Every vice president has to respond to the president. Every president has to respond to the CEO. Every CEO has to respond to the chairperson. Every chairperson has to respond to the higher up. And the higher up is usually the wife of the owner, right? So, so the wife is the boss. So everybody follows somebody. Everybody responds to somebody, right? So even me as a leader, when I'm working with the client, guess what? The client is the leader at that point in time, and I am there to help them. I am there to be the subordinate. So when you become compassionate, you're actually managing that leader. You are leading that leader. You're developing that leader, and you know, through emotions, through being compassionate, to understanding, and then resolution. Then you come and you bring resolution to the problem, and you thrust them and catapult them to the next level again. So listen, in the words of the wise Miles Monroe, I believe the same thing that he believed. I believe that inside every follower, there's a great leader trapped inside. You just have to understand that. You just have to extrapolate that leader. I was speaking to my wife the other day, and I said something to her, and what I said to her was that, listen, as leaders, we have to understand that we have to have an attitude of leadership. That's what we call the spirit of leadership. That is what identifies, that is the difference between the lion being the king of the jungle and every other animal that there is in the jungle, in the plains or whatever it is. The lion is not the smartest, the lion is not the biggest, the lion is not the fastest, but he is the king of the jungle. Why? Because of his attitude. So you have to develop an attitude of leadership, and the way to become an effective leader, ladies and gentlemen, is to become an effective follower or an awesome follower, right? So learn to follow right where you're at. Don't be anxious. Do not be desperate. You know, do not be impatient, but learn to be a great follower right where you're at. And I guarantee you is going to lead you to being an effective leader. Right? So listen, this is all the time that I have. I wanna share with you just a little gift that I have. You know, yesterday I was telling people, I said, listen, my gift to you, I have a complimentary leadership evaluation. If you only go to my website and right there on my website, listen, make an appointment with me. It's complimentary leadership evaluation. Maybe you are a leader, maybe you are a follower, maybe you're somebody who wants to extract that leader within. Listen, work with me. This is a limited time offer. This is a great value. I'm telling you, you're getting me. You're getting my CEO status, my pastoral status, my leadership status, everything that I am, you know, to help you, you know, develop that leader within you. Is a complimentary, you know, it's a very valuable thing. It's a complimentary because you're going to get my time. You're going to get me. Complimentary gift, my gift to you, because I want to work with you. I want to help you out. I want to help you. I want to see you succeed. Go to my website, MiguelARamos.com. Check it out. Tell me what you think, you know, for your complimentary leadership evaluation. Go on the right-hand corner, click right there, make an appointment, and make an appointment with me, and I'll make sure to get back to you, and we can give you the complimentary leadership evaluation. Or listen, maybe you're a pastor. Maybe you're somebody who wants to develop your leadership team in your church. Or maybe you're a business owner and you want to develop your leadership team within your organization. Call me up, you know, go to my website, MiguelARamos.com, you know, book an appointment. We can give you a complimentary leadership assessment of your team, and we can help you develop it to become more profitable, more effective, more conducive, and also bring a transformational change in your atmosphere to help your organization grow. No matter what it is, no matter what organization you're working with, we can guarantee success, right? If you're willing to work with us. So nevertheless, for more empowerment content, listen, check out your boy's business page, Miguel Ramos business page. This is your host, right? Thank you for your time. Our moment of empowerment. This is your host, Miguel Ramos. Check out the website. Listen, friends, family, acquaintances, check out the website, miguelaramos.com. Let me know what you think. Put a testimonial in there and, just give me some feedback. Let me know how I'm doing. Again, listen, signing off. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. God bless you. Peace.